I had built into that houses. My grandmother had 100% in that.
This was in 1880s.
Yeah. Well, in the 90s, early 2000s, my dad was on Gearbox, you know,
Yeah.
here, and that was about an house and nice.
And I had another from Andrew.
I mean, probably in here, it's where we're saying.
Yes, it was cool. Her names, and she found that.
Yeah, she comments on this house.
Yeah. They had to be the first ones.
Also, you have a very considerable secret soul.
Yeah. And the people in the first rows won't even know.
Nothing is the picture. So when you're up there seeing up there, like you're really open to the garage.
Restream,
Who's concerned about that? And
Staples.
and safety.
A lot of people when we first start using social media. They're not.
And they're not, yes, they're hard to do. I mean, if you wanted to be, you have to just Google EU church and or
Yeah.
stuff like that. So it's not like
I mean,
yeah. Student stream is just.
Want to go get the children?
No. I am too childlike. Get distracted. Ooh, shiny.
there's another bell down there.
Oh. Oh, that's what it's for. What did I do? Oh, man, maybe I did. It's a good thing I did. If this is a compliment, I will take it. If it is a complaint, you may leave your complaint after the tone.
This way. One long. Cord or something to this. Actually, I think this changes to see if it's last. Actually, we just spell. So it's a we just spell.
I like it.
Use that in our wedding ceremony. Thank you. That's your only signature. election plate.
More lights are doing that now. Yeah. Is that one?
Where'd you get these donuts, Glenn? Baker? No. One that's across the street.
The data is not updated on the OS, but it is correct.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Just to let you know, the OOS that is up front is the current OOS, it just has the wrong date on the front. So if you haven't grabbed one, feel free. We'd like to welcome everybody to Thorowoods Unitarian Universalist Church, whether you're a regular, a visitor, or joining us this week on live stream. We welcome you and we ask that you fill out the front book up front. If you're online, leave us a comment. You can leave your email address and we'll add you to our mailing list. A couple of announcements to go over really quick. We are live streaming from this Sunday on, so everybody has the ability to watch on Facebook as of right now. Last I checked, we had 3 people watching on Facebook as I speak. So if you have a joy and a concern that is too personal that you do not want shared outside of these 4 walls, feel free to come up here when we do that, take a candle, say you have a personal joy or concern, light the candle, and you can tell us about it later after we're not live. But just to be aware that anything you say in the sanctuary during the service will be broadcast over the internet. So we have had multiple requests for it, so we started it this week. Another announcement coming up. August 27th of next month, which is our Fellowship Sunday, we will be holding a general meeting of all the membership to review the bylaws, because there are some changes to make, and the possible changing over an officer position due to the fact that I will probably be moving in September. So we will be having a general meeting on the 4th Sunday of next month. I will post more information on the website and on Facebook. Other than that, the charity of the month for the month of July is Good Shepherd Mission. To donate, please make your check out to them and drop it directly in the offertory plate when it comes around. And that's all I have for announcements. and now we will go ahead and light the chalice and read together the words in your order of service.
We like this gift.
All right, and now we will have our joys and concerns. Also, as the challenge of last week, if you made someone's life 1% better, please feel free to share that as well. If you have a joy and concern, please come to this direction of the podium and come up here one at a time and tell us your joys and concerns.
We have a joy of concern. Nelson's wheelchair had broken down and he was out of it for about 3 weeks. So finally managed to get it running on Friday, but told us it's only a matter of time, so that it'll die. So we're gonna have to find a way to raise money to replace it. And that's our concern. And my challenge this week, I went grocery shopping for an elderly friend.
Oh, well, the kid that I have to live can't do that. His voice is concerns. Thank you.
What I have to say is really an announcement, but tomorrow night, the Walker County Historical Commission is having a meeting. It's inviting the public instead of the Gibbs Powell House. It's meeting at the Walker Center at the Sam Houston Memorial Museum. And there was a notice in the paper, but unfortunately they didn't give the time. They said the public invited, and the time is very early. 5:30 is the time they meet always. And so the Will Godwin, who many of you know, that's the Natural Science Museum, is the speaker and is talking about an important person in Walker County history, the geologist Wine Searle. And several of us here, and Cheryl and Ann and Carol and I went to his house when they had an estate sale out there on the river. But it was his son was was the most recent person who lived in that house, but the one that Will Godwin will be talking about, is an important geologist who revolutionized the oil extraction industry. Well, anyway, so it should be an interesting program tomorrow night, 5:30 at the University, Sam Houston Museum.
At the museum or at the
No, the Walker
Walker
Center, the little auditorium is Walker Center.
Education Center, right?
This is a major concern to everybody on the planet. This day, July 16, 1945, 78 years ago, I think, yeah, 78, the first atomic bomb exploded at the Trinity site in Los Alamos. That should be a concern to me.
Anybody else have joy or concern they'd like to share? And I'll light this candle for all those joys and concerns not expressed. Opening words. We gather here today as a diverse community, bound together by our shared commitment to seeking truth, fostering compassion, and embracing the inherent worth and dignity of every single individual. In this space, we come from various backgrounds, cultures, beliefs, recognizing that our strengths lie in our unity and our shared journey towards understanding and our collective efforts to create a more just and compassionate world. And also opening words of make everybody's life 1% better this week. I will be stressing that for the next several weeks. It is a good message. Let's see here. We will now take a moment for silent prayer and meditation. And if you'll open your hymns to number 38. And I'm going to step away from the mic because I don't see Today's program, I'm going to be talking to you about the rising costs of healthcare versus the rest of the world. So basically the cost of rising healthcare here in the United States. It is a very controversial subject to many, but it rings true to me because I'm on a medication that I have to take daily. If I don't take it, my immune system will collapse and I will eventually pass away. But for example, I'm using my medication as an example. This one bottle holds 30 pills. I have to take one pill every single day of my life for the rest of my life. Each pill in the United States costs $120 per pill. In the United Kingdom and other countries, one pill costs $20. So we're $100 higher in the United States. A little bit of math for that. This one bottle costs $3,600 a month without insurance. With my insurance, it's a $1,200 copay. This medication is prohibitively expensive. For a medication that a lot more people are familiar with, according to the United States government, in 2022, the average cost of one vial of insulin was $110. According to several nonprofit organizations, the average cost of that same vial in the countries of Brazil, Mexico, and the United Kingdom was $15. And a lot of people don't understand why we pay so much here in the United States. Well, I did some research on it. The disparity in the pricing between the United States and the rest of the world can be attributed to multiple factors. One key factor is the lack of pricing regulation in the pharmaceutical industry. Unlike many of our other countries around the world, the US does not have a centralized system to negotiate drug prices. Basically, the pharmaceutical companies, they charge whatever they want. They want their profits high, so they will charge higher prices. Often leaving patients burdened with astronomical bills, such as me. Additionally, the United States patent system grants drug manufacturers exclusive rights to their products for extended periods of time, resulting in zero generics. This particular medication was paid for by the United States taxpayers. The United States government researched it. They handed this particular drug over to Gilead. Gilead's the one that manufactures it, and they hold the patent on it now, and no generics can be produced until 2026, minimum, which is really bad for anybody that does not have insurance, anybody that does not have a support system that can help them, or anybody that does not qualify for government aid programs. Furthermore, it has been discovered that not only are the pharmaceutical companies making a whole lot of money, but the insurance companies, the pharmacy managers themselves, such as CVS, Walgreens, and any other company with a pharmacy, along with many, many doctors, all result in the prices being pushed higher and higher. This is a problem that many other countries have solved. A lot of people here in the United States consider it extreme socialism, for the government to step in and say everyone deserves health care, everybody deserves prescription drugs at a fair price. It's not. You don't have to give it away for free like other countries are doing, but we do need the government to literally step in and say enough is enough. You don't need all these extra profits. When you're bringing home $30 billion a month on one medication, there is a problem. You need to give back. You need to lower the prices. But the American people have spoken time and time again, or at least our congressmen and our senators have, and decided to line the pockets more and more of the big pharmaceutical companies and the big insurance companies. Basically, and just the easiest way to solve this issue is to make sure you get out and vote every year, regardless of what's going on. Always remember to vote, because you can start the change in a small little area and work your way up to the national level. Without programs out there currently, for example, with my medication, I'm a part of the Ryan White Care Act program. It's a federal program that helps pay for HIV research, HIV medication, HIV treatments, all sorts of different programs out there. They help with clothing, they help with just about everything you can imagine. If that program didn't exist, I wouldn't be here today. I would not be able to afford $1,200 a month with my insurance for this particular medication. And unfortunately, it seems like every year the government also, on top of not funding more programs, they cut the Ryan White Care Act in half almost every couple of years. Donald Trump was the last one to do that after his vow at his State of the Union address to end the HIV epidemic by 2030. The very next day, he cut the Ryan White Care Act in half. But that's just one medication. I've talked to many of my friends, people on heart medications, they can't afford them. People on insulin can't afford them. Medically necessary items, like for example, Nelson's wheelchair. There's not a whole lot of help out there to get a new wheelchair, and the co-pays are more than a lot of people can afford. What is the copay, like $4,000 for a new wheelchair? Yeah, almost $4,000. Where does the average American come up with $4,000 when a wheelchair dies or breaks down or just wears out? It's not something any of us can do. And with there not being a cost of living increase lately in minimum wage, it all compounds into one big issue. And the United States, we're supposed to be the land of the free and the biggest country that supports its citizens, but we're doing a very bad job. So I just want you all to know that medical, healthcare, and prescription coverage is something that we all need to focus on. And that's all we really have. It's very short today. Does anybody have any questions? Because I do have quite a bit.
There's only 2 countries in the world that allow pharmaceutical companies to directly advertise their products. We're one of them. And New Zealand is the other one, believe it. That should be outlawed.
Yeah.
Hospitals should not make a profit. Pay their people, pay them well, pay the pharmaceutical people, pay them well, but they should not make a profit.
They should not make a profit, and they should not make a profit. The pharmaceutical companies especially should not make a profit off of taxpayer research medications.
You know, my sense of this is that we, in the United States, bears a big burden in the research for leading medications and pharmaceuticals. How about England? How much is it participating in Belgium and all the wealthy European countries?
It depends on.
Are they participating in covering the cost of research, or is it all falling on our nation?
It falls on all nations when it comes to certain diseases, like, for example, insulin for diabetes. All nations have researched it. They may not have all had the big pharmaceutical companies that can actually produce it like the United States does, but they have attributed to it. And all those funds around the world all go to the same pharmaceutical companies. This drug is produced worldwide by one company based here in the United States. They make about $30 billion every month in profit. It is one of the best-selling HIV medications there is because it's 1 pill a day versus multiple pills. And eventually, you will pay for everything and you won't have a profit. But they don't want to cure HIV as well. Well, a lot of people have said, why don't they just find a cure? This can prevent it and stop it. Why don't they find a cure? And I'm like, well, there's no fortune in a cure. If they cure everybody with HIV, they lose $30 billion every month. Why would they want to? Where's the profit in that?
And several HIV drugs are advertised on prime time television.
Yeah, and all those prime time advertisements for HIV drugs, they all cost about the same as this medication right here. They're just newer versions. And they're all name brands. Again, there's no generics of any of those drugs. Each company does offer some help, but it's not enough. Like Gilead will give me $7,500 a year as a coupon card to help pay for my copays. That pays for about a 90-day to a 6-month supply, and then it's exhausted. and then I've got to figure out the rest of the year. So nobody's stepping up and doing enough. The government's not doing enough. The pharmaceutical companies aren't doing enough. We got to figure it out. People need to step up and actually talk to their senators, talk to their congressmen, write a letter to the president, and tell them all that we need to do something. We may not need socialized medical where everybody is getting free medical, but we need to do something. Yes, go ahead.
Well, I've heard that just very recently, a presidential, I can't think of the right word, but basically, the president wrote and said that fixed price for insulin now would be $35.
Yes, the president did do an executive order demanding that insulin be dropped to $35 per vial. And that's a fixed rate, but it only applies to Medicare or Medicaid, the federal programs. It does not require any other insurance company to follow those guidelines.
Also,
Only Medicare and Medicaid.
and those insulin bottles typically only last a person, usually takes about 2.5 or 3 bottles a month.
Yep.
And many people, and I know quite a few, including my mom, couldn't afford them. It was a matter of going without food, or whether to pay the light bill.
I have to full disclosure, I have an ex-boyfriend of mine who I love to death. He preferred to put food on the table for his 2 children than to get his insulin, and he's no longer with us because of that decision. And it was basically, he had to choose food or his medication, and he chose the food. And there's a lot of people out there right now that have chosen that. And that's a decision nobody should have to ever make. And even if it means the churches need to start stepping up and help people, that would be great too. There aren't enough churches that help the community in that way. There's not enough shelters that help in that way. You've got to rely on a federal program where basically you've got to win the lottery. I think those are the 2 easiest ways right now. And I don't think any of us are winning the lottery. If we did, I don't see a lottery check in the offertory. Maybe next week. Any other questions? All right. Let's go ahead with our closing hymn, which is number 20. In closing words today, we shall basically remind everybody of the challenge that we did last week. Leah, who gave the sermon last week, she challenged the entire congregation to make someone's life 1% better. Easy examples: smile and say hello to somebody who looks like they're having a bad day. Smile and ask the cashier as you go through a checkout line, how's your day going? Or give them a small compliment. Just that little change can make someone's day. When I worked for Target, I can't tell you, when I'd have a customer that would just even tell me, have a nice day, how much that actually meant to me, because that was a far cry from the 4-letter words I got from several other customers right before them. So always remember, make someone's day 1% better. And I challenge everybody to try and do that at least once this week, but it'd be better if you could do it to everybody you come across. And now we shall extinguish the candle for the chalice. Friendly reminder for everybody, next week is Fellowship Sunday, so we will be having a potluck after the service, so feel free to bring a dish and join us.